Hi, welcome to the FIT5225 Ass1 description. First, I will show my server code.python, which is my web server Python code. I have imported some necessary libraries, and the default method is for the JSON format method using later. I will talk about this later. And after get labels, get weights, get config, load model, we'll go into the label prediction. It will take 4 parameters, which is the image file, net, label, and the image ID sent from the server. Sent from the client. Then in the for loop, I do the JSON for JSON object here. The detection rectangle contains height, left, top, wise numbers, which is this one. And then the detection output contains label, accuracy as a float, rectangle list, which defined before. Then outside the for loop, it will be the prediction result, contains the ID, which is the image ID, and the object list, which is here. Then this function will return a JSON format object, use the JSON dumps to handle the prediction result list, and the default is the default. Then we use Flex to make this Python shell script into a web server. And in the IP address, enter the IP address, it will show hello when the server runs in the home page. Then the detection will handle the post method request. First, it will load the image file. Because the client sent the image and the image ID in a dictionary within the JSON format, so we use JSON loads to handle the image file in the request. Then use base64 decoding to decode the image file, then get the image ID to handle the image, then load model to get nodes. The response will get from the label prediction with the 4 parameters. The labels is from the YOLO coco.names file. Then run the server from app.run. Then I will show my Docker file, and I have named the server of my working directory, and then add my server code into the server, and also add 3 YOLO files into server. Then copy the requirement.txt as requirement.txt, which is here, which contain NP and Flexed. Then run the installation, and then doing the system command to run the server code. Use Python. Okay, go to my server. There's 2 nodes that I have created, which is the control plane master node and the worker, created by the cluster, a kind cluster. So I will show my client. Yeah, here's the cluster file, named kind cluster, and it creates 2 nodes, which is one is the control plane and the other one is worker, with the extra mapping, port mapping with container port 31000 and host port 80 with protocol TCP. Then I'll show the deployment. Deployment will have the name as I named that my server.app /app, and then the deployment will create 3 ports to run for the deployment. Then capture from the image server, which is my Docker image name. I have add image pro policy never because I have load my image into kind, use the kind load comment, and also set the limitation for CPU as 0.5. And then the servers. The server file will have the type of node port, which set node port 31000 and the port 5000 and target port 5000. Okay, I will show my Docker. Yes, this is my local Docker image code server. And there's 2 Docker containers currently running. It's the 2 kind node port. No, it's the kind node, which one is the worker and one is control plane. I'll show my VM settings. Here's my IP address. And for the security group, I have opened the 443, 80, 22, and 5000. To server. Okay, here's the 3 ports I have created from the deployment. Then is the server with the type node port. And this one is the deployment with 3 ports. We run from outside of the VM. This is my Windows terminal. I run the client. Yeah, it takes some time to run. So we go with the log. You see one of the ports. Yep, it's working perfectly. And try another one. Maybe this one. Okay. Yep, working. This is working. It has get request, but it's fine. Yeah. So it's working good. Thank you for watching.